Hey guys, Brandon here. I shot this video last summer while I was camping in my woods and trying to build a log stall. I never uploaded it though, but I'm now trying to clear some space on my hard drive to make room for all the new videos coming this year. So here it is, I hope you enjoy. Today's book review is Tapestries of Life by Anne Sverdrup Tigerson. I think I'm saying that right. I believe she's a Norwegian author, so apologies if I've mispronounced that. This is a book that I read quite a few years ago, and so I had to sort of refresh myself today before reviewing it. But what I do remember about this book is how I was first struck by the beautiful front cover of the book. Now, I know they say never judge a book by its cover, but this is one of the great exceptions to that, because not only is the cover so beautiful, but the book turned out to be a great read. Now, where the author is Norwegian, or it might be Swedish, I could be getting that wrong, then she had to have this translated for her by someone else. So I do remember in a few areas the wording could have been a little bit more clear or sophisticated, but apart from that, it's a nice casual read in terms of reading ability. There's nothing too advanced in there. Now, as for the blurb, it reads, "In the heart of the natural world is a life support system like no other, a network that provides some of the most vital goods and services we receive. Food, fresh water, medicine, pollination, pollution control, recreation, spiritual health, and so much more." In Tapestries of Life, best-selling author Anne Tigerson explained how closely we are all connected with the natural world, highlighting the indelible link between nature's finding its system and our everyday lives. And so some of the topics that are covered in this book is ecosystem services and, for example, how nature cleans our water. And so one of the great examples she uses in here is how New York has actually some of the cleanest drinking water in the world due to where the reservoirs for the city are situated. The water there is filtered through beautiful natural landscapes that really help filter the water. And then, of course, is treated to be safe for human consumption anyway. But there's just so many different areas of conversation that she covers in this book. As she says on the blurb, you know, there's talking about natural remedies and medicinal uses for nature and ecological symbioses in the natural world. One great example is how she says that whale carcasses, when a whale dies, it sinks to the bottom of the ocean and it becomes, just trying to find it here, there it is, and it becomes a whole ecosystem and is essential for the recycling of nutrients in the ocean. And what's lovely about this book as well is she has these beautiful hand-drawn illustrations in here. I'm not sure who drew the illustrations, but they are very lovely. They remind me of like an old sort of 19th century explorer's journal or something. Sort of the kind of thing that you'd imagine seeing in the journal of one of the biologists who originally wrote about these very interactions throughout the natural world. So overall, a very beautiful read. It's quite simple in terms of readability, but the depth that it explores about these various ecosystem services and examples of this interconnected web of life is just very lovely and accessible to anyone. Overall, I'd give it maybe a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. I've only read it once. I will read it again. But to be honest, the main reason I keep it around on my bookshelf is because of how lovely the front cover is. It just brightens up the bookshelf. There's so many modern books being all white or all one colour. This is just such a beautiful book to have on the shelf. So that's Tapestries of Life by Anne Tigerson. As I said, I haven't read it in a few years, so I may do a second review once I read it again. But I would definitely check it out in the meantime.